So I've already heard a couple people say that they like that exercise. Does anybody else want to say just anything about that for them, that little process and like the video and whatever was may have been sparked, or do you want to share anything or say anything? I'm sure it would be anybody would be interested in hearing it if you're inspired to do so. Come on, Sharon, give us something.
I'm trying to put together my thoughts because it's kind of difficult to put in a word.
Yeah. That's fine.
Like, I was able to find that spot that you're talking about, so that's good.
Awesome.
In terms of like relating it to the poem,
Yeah.
Going all the way.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what I wrote about. It's like, what does going all the way mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had like many different scenarios, and like I have 3 different scenarios, and like the first scenario would be the ideal, but there's a lot of obstacles I think in place for realizing that. And I think, I mean, there are physical obstacles that exist in my life, in my world, but it's my choice whether I want them to exist or not. Like I could tomorrow, like, do whatever I needed to do to make them go away.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of fear in place.
Yeah. Yes.
That is, yeah. So.
Yes. Yeah. I think you probably speak for a lot of people. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Thank you. Anybody else want to say anything?
It's funny because I've been pondering this very thing recently because I have more time.
Yeah.
Now that my daughter's 10, and I really feel that it's precious, and I've been thinking about, well, how am I going to fill my time?
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
It's easy to,
Yeah, we can drift along.
yeah.
Sure, we can. Years can go by just drifting along. Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah, like in reference to time, like sometimes we just take it for granted almost.
Yeah. Big time.
And we don't really kind of look at that as like a very, like, for lack of a better word, like special thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, like time for yourself rather than, being pulled to so many different other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, like you mean like recognizing the actual sort of crucial importance of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, realization of that, right?
Yeah.
Because when like in my life, there's a lot of or like all of our lives, there's a lot of things that are going on.
Yeah.
So you kind of sometimes forget to like focus, like for the betterment of yourself almost. To
Yeah.
some extent.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Lots of people get that going on. That was like we were talking. That was kind of one of the benefits of going out of town to work, in a way,
Mhm.
because you're like sucked out of your normal situation and you're
Mhm.
just like propelled right into this thing, and you're kind of all you can really do is focus on what's at hand,
Mhm.
and then a lot of times out of that can come something like where you, oh yeah, it's time to do this now.
Mhm.
It's good. Even a different horizon, because like in Vancouver, we're all, many of us are plagued in a way by this horizon, which is often gray. And I think it's helpful. I've experienced this in my life. It's helpful to sometimes just get away from here to like a bigger sky, or something like that, and then something can happen in the mind, and then perceived obstacles can be eradicated just because you're clear for a second. And then living under cloud can often, I think, like they talk about that, the outer, inner, outer. Living under cloud can be like you're living in a cloud, and the cloud in your mind that's like Sharon's talking about kind of gets solidified by the cloud in a way. It's interesting. I met a fellow. I didn't meet him. I knew a guy. Still know him. He's not dead. And Doug, he was he's a guitar player. We used to play guitar a lot together. And he was always this troubled guy. You could see it on him all the time, like tormented. He would smoke a lot of pot, and or we would smoke a lot of pot, and when we'd go driving and stuff, like at night, when the roads were clear, like 3:30 in the morning, and then he would like get in his car, and we'd be stoned. Sorry, everybody. And he would start squealing around like a race car driver, right? And he could drive like that, and you could see that something in him needed to push something inside of him that needed to break, right? You could just see it in him. It was there all the time. It was almost frightening. And then he had his mom. His mom died. His dad died, and then his mom died shortly after. So then he was kind of drifting. And then he had this thing happen where he just decided that he was going to follow his gut, no matter what. And the reason why I know that is because I was driving down the Barnett Highway one day, and I saw him coming this way. And I saw him, and I waved, and then I saw he pulled over quickly, and he turned around and followed me. Okay? And I was going to take my dog for a walk. So I went down to the beach, the Barnett Beach, and he comes squealing up. He's, Johnny, and I said, what are you doing? I said, taking my dog for a walk. He said, well, I'm coming. I said, okay. So I go for a walk, and he says, you know why I turned around? And I said, yeah, please tell me why you turned around. He said, well, I decided recently, I had this thing that if something moved in me that said, that was like, yeah, I should do that, or I should go. I just go now. I don't hesitate. So he goes, I don't know why I'm here. I have no idea why I'm here on this walk with you. But that's why I'm here. So we had a nice walk and talk, and I didn't see him, after that, I didn't see him for about 6 months. And the next time I saw him, no, sorry, I did see him briefly about a month later at a party, and it was a big old jam party. We were playing guitar. It was getting really crazy and awesome, and there was an Australian girl that was there that was new to the crowd, and she was really beautiful, and she was like giving me like great compliments about my guitar playing, and I thought, hey, she likes me. But I didn't act on it. But Doug did. Doug had the feeling. I also I also had the feeling. But I didn't do anything about it. So the reason why I found out that Doug had the feeling and followed is because he married her.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. He had the feeling, followed the feeling, married her, and moved to Australia. All on a feeling.
Oh.
So then I see him like half a year later, and he's like, yeah, this all happened, and he said that he equated his happiness with the fact that he's living where it doesn't rain. He's like, man, you have no idea what it was like to get out of this weather. He goes, everybody else, they're happy because it's not raining all the time. That can't be true ultimately, but so here's a guy that changed his whole life without a plan. He didn't plan a thing. He followed something that was in his heart, and somehow he managed to tune in and know when that feeling was taking him somewhere, and without needing to know why. He did that. I didn't hear every story, but maybe there was some where he ended up and thought, well, maybe this wasn't such a good. I don't know. But when I saw him, it looked like that thing that was so visible in him was gone, right? It had left him. So he was softer. He was more well-rounded, happier, more loving. But still Doug, which was nice. He's a great guy. So, we'll do a little meditation to finish the class, but I'm going to offer you the idea that when you go home tonight, you can burn what you wrote. Just let it go. Just let it go. Because it's not in the words that you wrote down. Those words that you wrote down came from somewhere, and that somewhere is the thing. The words are not the thing. So you don't have to. And it could be that you go to maybe do it and notice any attachment you have to the beautiful things that you wrote down. Or not. Or not. I'm just offering that as a thing that you might want to try. That's all. So let's do a little meditation before we finish. Tune into the resonance, the resonant echo of the last meditation. See if you can dial yourself back into that feeling. And think about other people and the beautiful feeling in your heart of truly being excited for someone else's passion. See someone and they're excited about what they're doing, or they're talking to you about, I have this thing that I'm excited about right now. I'm doing this thing, and you just get stoked for them. Like you can feel it in your body. Like you are thrilled for the thrill that they're having. So you get this shared experience. And this is one of the ways that we can overcome any obstacle we may have of finding our own or exploding our own, is by noticing it in others. And when you notice it in others and say yes to it in others, it has a way of igniting that frequency within us. So take a few moments, see if you can think of someone that you know that is doing something that is exciting. Some project they're doing or anything. I mean, it could be anything at all. Like I know someone who gets super excited when they find a stick in the forest that just seems to look a certain way, and she brings it home, and it's meaningful. It can be anything. And celebrate that thing that got going on. Rejoice in it. Be excited for them. Lose yourself in it. And then before you, behind you, below you, and above you, see an endless sea of beings. As far as the limits of your imagination. Like pebbles on a beach, going out in endless horizons, each one of them a being. And in your heart is a passionate, almost fevered wish that each one of those beings would find that spark, would feel that spark, that inspiration, that passion that will take them wherever it is, that they don't even know they want to go yet. But that passionate spark, and wish that it would ignite in them and show them their way. Just think that by the efforts of your concentration tonight, that you would get to see that in everyone. And then see it blaze out of your heart and fill all these beings. And then the light withdraws back into your own heart and rests there nicely. Thank you all for coming tonight. May all beings be free and happy. And that's class what, 23?
I think it's 27.
27 now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Busy year.
We're on a roll.
Yeah.
2017.
Thank you for the presents. Oh yeah, great. Thank you.
So I think